school fees yearly is not favoring the student anymore.
Payment in our school is getting to pay 6,300 for water access fee.
Considering the economic challenge now, we are unable to afford these school fees. We are also calling on the state government to help us with student loan.
I'm in 100 level and my portal fee is 7,300. The increment was not what we expected, and our school fees too has increased.
We are suffering and we are calling on the government to provide us student loan and bursary.
All right, so you heard from the students there, and we've been talking about how expensive education has become in Nigeria, but we've been looking at it from the national angle or perspective. We've been looking at it from the federal level and what the federal government is doing to ensure that education is accessible to or accessible by the ordinary Nigerian. But then we rarely focused on what is happening at the state level, right? And I understand that these institutions, these tertiary institutions, would have to increase fees at some point given the economic realities. I mean, the rate of the naira when compared to the dollar is something else. The cost of living is something else, and the school would have to run, right? The school would have to run operations, the school would have to pay for staff, they would have to pay salaries and all that stuff. And so somewhere along the line, things would get expensive when we talk education, and already it's manifesting. However, we've looked at it from the federal level, and we are currently critiquing the federal loans given to students. We were looking, is that the solution, or should we continue to subsidize education so that the common man can access education? Because if we don't empower our society with knowledge, we would end up breeding people who are prone to crime, who've got proclivity for criminal activities, and our society will continue to go down if that is the case. So knowledge is important, and we all have agreed, we've all said that a society can be measured by the level of education in that society, or the level of knowledge. So what can the state governors do? What should the River State governor do? Because Ignatius crying today, who knows, River State University maybe tomorrow. We did see sometime this year, where students of the River State University could also not afford to pay their tuition fee. So how do we ensure that we don't make it so difficult for students to attain or acquire knowledge so that they can be better people in society? And it's a tricky question. It really is. Should we increase the amount of subsidy? The students there were asking for bursaries. The students there were asking for loans. But do we really have that structure where we'll say, okay, X, Y, Z amount of students can pay fees, so we should allow them to access loans? Is it possible? I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, but I wonder what your thoughts are on this one. It's a big story as far as I'm concerned, and I hope it's a big story for you as well, because these young people need to be educated. They need to be empowered with knowledge so they can make right decisions. I'm not saying that that's the only thing that is needed to make right decisions, but it plays a major role in making right decisions in the society. Now, according to that story, a memo cited by our correspondent showed that the school fees of the River State indigents rose from between 38,200 and 64,600 to between 65,300 to 94,100. The fees for non-indigents rose from between 61,300 and 91,600 to 121,100. Also, extra year students will now pay 87,800 instead of 58,300. So what are your thoughts on this one? I'd like to hear from you. But still staying with education, I did see a report yesterday as well where a parent accused the principal of Community Secondary School Ubarama out of West Local Government Area of Rivers State of collecting money from prospective WAEC and NECO candidates. This is despite, and you and I have talked about it before, this is despite a warning issued by the State Commissioner for Education, Professor Chinedu Umam, cautioning head teachers and principals of public schools against collecting money for the registrations of WAEC, NECO, and BECE exams. In an interview, the parent expressed concern that these illegal charges are mostly being collected in public schools in rural communities. So we will also take a listen as this parent spoke with our correspondent. Okay, that's not it. Let's do this.
We heard the governor has ordered for free education in River State, but these things are not getting done to some part of the communities that makes up River State. Unlike Obarama community, I understand that the principal in that school is taking from the student 8,500 for picking up form, and is also asking the student to pay the sum of 24,000 for WAEC registration and NECO, whereby other communities in River State, such as Port Harcourt mainly, those things are not obtainable.
All right, take a listen here.
These examinations are being paid by River State government free of charge for all our children enrolled in public schools in River State. I'm re-emphasizing this because of the calls I receive from parents and guidance that some principals have printed forms and says enrollment forms for NECO and WAEC and charging as much as 12, 15, 20,000 as the case may be. I have sent some persons who may form to be parents to register their students or their wards. Once you become a corporate, that is not abeg, the hammer of the law will hit on you. Please don't sabotage the efforts of the River State government. Okay.
Now, there's so many angles to this conversation, so many perspectives. Now, first, the perspective of a government. The government has reiterated over and over that do not collect monies from parents or students who are writing O-level exams or who are about to write O-level exams. However, we've seen reports emanate from several quarters, several corners, concerning how head teachers or principals or basically the school collect monies from parents of these students, right? And then we ask the question, why would they do that if it's not man's inhumanity to man? But there is this other angle of the school. Could it be that the school is lacking in several items, in several areas, and given the fact that some of them are afraid to speak, some of them don't want to lose their job, some of them don't know how to go about it, so they just keep quiet and try to find a solution from within the school, between the parents and the teachers. Could that be the case? I'm thinking as well. Or could it be that just because the River State government is not doing proper monitoring, so some of these rural schools or schools in in rural areas are taking advantage of these laxity on the side of government to ensure that they, go about extorting money. I can call it that because, when you collect money you're not supposed to collect, that's extortion. So what do you think of this? How do you think, because sometimes you go to some of these schools in the urban areas, you find out that they lack certain teaching materials, they lack certain things. And maybe that is where that is the avenue they use to, go about this extortion. So can we really divide it, put the school on one side and the government on one side, or is there a middle ground? The blame should go to both sides. But I'd like to get your thoughts on that as well. And how do we end this once and for all? Because it's one thing to make a proclamation, and we have all been in Nigeria for a long time, and it's not just about the River State government. We've all been in Nigeria for a long time. It's one thing to make a proclamation, a government proclamation. It's another thing to have government implement their proclamations or implement their laws. We've seen it 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, a plethora of times. However, it does not mean that the head teachers or the principals should take advantage of the situation, and that's where there's always a problem. Anyway, Trace, moving on now to the last big story for today, and it has got to do with insecurity in Rivers State, and it's really a sad one for me, I should say. Now, yesterday, the Rivers State Police Command said that it was determined, and I believe it still is, to create a hostile environment for criminals who are operating in the state. And this was made known by the Commissioner of Police, CP Wanyemeka, and he made this known at an event. He said the command is fully prepared to combat crime and criminal activities, particularly during these Ember months. Let's take a listen just before the break to what he had to say.
We are really battle ready to deal with criminals in these states who have not learned their lessons, that there's not going to be any breathing space for any criminal in River State. I maintain. If you are a criminal and you think this is a number month and it is a time to go on car snatching, on Bolt or whoever is all about, we are ready for you. Bumper to bumper, we will make River State relatively calm. The launch of...
Hello there, I've got great news.
For me to open the phone lines, but just before I do, now the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, talking that he was talking about removing the criminal Rivers State, going head on with criminals Rivers State, and he said he's going to eradicate crime. Let's take a second.
We really battle to deal with criminals who are not learned their lessons, that there's not going to be this space for any criminal in River State. I maintain. If you are a criminal and you think this is a number month and it is a time to go on car snatching, on Bolt or whoever is all about, we are ready for you. Bumper to bumper, we will make River State relatively calm. The launch of River State Zero Crime Initiative is not just on words. We'll put it up with a match.
So you had that bumper to bumper against criminals in the state. However, why I went back to the statement by the Commissioner of Police is because there is a report on the Punch newspaper for today captioned "Gunmen shoot Rivers Bolt driver, snatch car, victim hospitalized." Yet again, that was what came to my mind. Yet again, some 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, we're talking about it. Almost all the media stations in Rivers State were talking about it. Social media was agog with these stories about 4 people who were attacked and their car snatched, or about 3 of them had their car snatched. One was shot while sitting in his car. I think that was a car snatching syndicate in River State, and I'm wondering why we have not declared a state of emergency. I'm wondering why we've not taken this like, terrorists have invaded River State, because that's what it sounds like in my head. Because I'm wondering what is emboldening these young car snatchers, if I can say that, or these car snatchers to go about attacking bold drivers. But let's quickly look at the report on the Punch newspaper, and it says gunmen suspected to be car snatchers have shot an e-hailing car driver and reportedly snatched his vehicle at the Rumukalagbo area of Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Now, this came barely 48 hours after the State Commissioner of Police, Emeka Wonyi, paraded 5 suspected car snatchers arrested in different parts of the state, some of whom dispossessed bold drivers of the vehicles. Now, let's take the eyewitness report. According to the Punch, he pleaded anonymity. He said the incident happened sometime around 10-12 p.m. on Monday night. Yes. On a closer look, I saw the 2 men inside the red Spider car, one in front and another behind, were dragging with the driver and punching him on his face. Next thing I heard gunshots and they zoomed off with the car. So I ran backward and saw that the driver had been shot and pushed out of the vehicle. So I and other people that came around saw that it was a bold driver who was saying they had shot him on the leg and took his car. He was bleeding and there was blood all over him, so he was rushed to the River State University Teaching Hospital for treatment. And then this is becoming a menace, I should say. The economy is hard, I get. Everybody's feeling it, by the way. Maybe not everybody, but majority of the people are feeling it. And the person you're trying to snatch the car from is barely living, is trying to get by due to the economic realities, and you're making things worse for him. And I'm wondering, but I want to get your thoughts on this. Really, it's something that I do think the River State government should begin to act on, not just the River State Police now, but the River State government. As a matter of fact, the governor should be concerned as the chief security officer of the state. And I also do believe that other security agencies and maybe even the vigilantes in the state should also begin to participate in going after these car snatchers, car snatching syndicates in River State. All right. That being said, I will indeed open the phone lines now, because it's 29 more minutes to the top of the hour. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. So our 3 big stories today focus on, or as you know, is focusing on River State. First one has got to do with Ignatius Ajuru University of Education and the students crying for help, asking the River State government to come to the rescue. What are your thoughts on that? And then there is the second one, where someone in Outer West, I believe, if I remember vividly, is saying, come to our rescue. The River State government has paid for all level examinations, but we don't get why the principal or the head teacher here is saying we should pay 8,500. And of course, the final story has got to do with bold drivers who are faced with car snatching syndicates. All right. What are your thoughts? 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. And we active on X, Nigeria Info PH. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. Israel from Outer West. Welcome on the show.
My brother, good day.
Yeah. Let's get your thoughts, please.
Yeah, this is Comrade Dixon Israel Igbo from Odrekuvia, Outer West. Abraham.
Okay.
Yeah. What I want to speak is about collection of money in WAEC.
Okay.
I don't know why these head teachers and principals, they don't hear what government are saying.
Okay.
If somebody wants to make money in education, they should go and open private school. When they open private school, anybody that wishes to go to the school, then the person can go. Even if they want to put it 1 million, anybody who is weak. But this one is a government school that a poor man can be able to train his children. Let me tell you, in a community secondary school, Olapata in Ahoda East, it's just a small half a piece of paper. They are just filling their name, their surname. They are collecting 2,000 naira, just half piece of paper.
Now,
I was very angry.
Israel. Now,
I
want
Israel. A common piece of paper to SS3 to fill his data, his name. They are collecting 2,000 naira.
Israel,
I was thinking,
I want to ask a question.
That this small paper will cost 2,000 naira, and a passport that the snap is 1,000 naira, which is bad, eh?
Israel,
It's too bad. What the head teachers are doing is too bad.
Okay.
I'm going to tell CP Emeka. He's trying. He has
all right, thank you,
made,
Israel. I've got to go. Thank you very much. I was going to ask you, I mean, you're complaining that they're collecting monies, but do they have the financial facilities to be able to provide those necessities for some of these things that you've mentioned? Clinton is calling from Bury. Clinton, welcome. What is on your mind, please tell me.
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, mine is on the issue going on at Ignatius Ajuru University.
Okay.
I think it's really unfortunate that the government that is supposed to be for the betterment of the people does not really care.
How do you mean?
Because last I checked, Ignatius Ajuru is a state-owned university.
Okay.
And it's only form of palliative that the government can give to students is to subsidize education. So if you are hiking tuition fee for students, you are trying to tell them to go back to the street, to go back to crime.
But Clinton, did you listen to me? I said the economic realities would also affect the operations of the school, or the cost of the operations of the school. So they would have to. Okay, go ahead.
Canada.
Yeah.
And that is where the government comes in. Because the economic you're talking about is also affecting the students, their parents.
Okay.
And that's where palliative comes in. So the students deserve palliatives, and this palliative should be a subsidized education.
Okay.
Because some of the students are funding for themselves. They pay their fees by themselves.
All right.
So if you're increasing, you're hiking these fees, you're subjecting them to crime. Then finally, I'm hearing what CP Oye is saying, that he's going to bring an end to crime in River State.
Yeah.
It brings confidence and hope going to the first ceiling. But it is not just saying it on paper, it's acting it, because we keep on hearing crime cases going on in River State.
But do you think, Clinton, quick question, do you think only the police can handle? I mean, these car snatches are almost everywhere. You know, today you hear Old Road, tomorrow you hear D-Line, next tomorrow you hear Rumu Kalabo, next tomorrow you hear... So, I mean, I think I saw one on Instagram where the person was caught along the Impolo Road just by the East-West Road. So, do you think maybe we should add other security measures, to what the police is offering?
Good. Security, like I know, is every man's business, Canada.
Okay.
It's not only the duty for the police. And I also believe that if the government and the people can give the police the necessary support, we can actually fight crime to a standstill.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I got Zion from GRA. Zion, greetings. Good afternoon. Welcome. What's on your mind, please?
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Zion, welcome. Oh my, Zion. All right, John from Port Harcourt, welcome, John. What's on your mind? Please tell me. Hello, John. Are you there? Hello, John. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Can you hear me, John? All right. Next time I probably would be accused of not taking the call. But hey, John, if you can hear me, do call back and let's get your thoughts. I've got Origi, and Origi is calling me from Ogbogoro. So let's take a listen to Ogbogu. I beg your pardon. Let's take a listen to Origi now. Origi, welcome on the show. What is on your mind?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Well, we are getting one of bad condition.
Sorry. I didn't get you. The line is not clear enough.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! I really
Hello?
can't. Yeah, I can. Sorry. You do have to call back. I'm really sorry. But let's look at some messages and let's see. Good afternoon. I am Obanson from Port Harcourt. As much as some head of schools aren't doing well, the government too aren't providing school supplies and necessities. Some allegations from parents are false. Some of us parents force principals to register their wards who are not students in the school because government is paying, and when they are asked to pay, they will start shouting. Let me stop here. All right, that's another angle to it. Thank you very much. This one says, man of the people, greetings. Nigeria never reach. I'm not talking about that now, so thank you very much. Moving on. This one says, good morning or good day. I beg your pardon, Mr. Kalada Karubatibo. I am a regular. Oh, okay. 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 I want to take Clinton West. I don't think there is much I can really take out time to start looking for it, but thank you nonetheless. I've got Amakri, and Amakri is calling from Abloma. Amakri, welcome.
Hello?
Yeah, Amakri, welcome.
Yes.
I'm listening to you. Let's get your thoughts, please.
Okay. We are discussing on Ajuru University students complaining of school fees.
Yeah.
Okay. It's of a two-dimensional issue.
Okay.
The school authority, they are being employed by the state government, and the state government are founding free education, or they are subsidizing education here and there. It's not working out. But to the students, we just concluded an election. They are the presiding officers. They are the returning officers, and so on and so forth. They are going about, instead of thinking of their future, they go about taking little 10,000, 5,000. Now, the result is now risen on them. So they should not complain. They should not complain. If they are complaining, it's as if they have eaten their cake and still demanding. You cannot work out that way. So there are good ones among them.
So you're saying,
but if you go to election field, election day to election field, you will cry for the future of the nation. Little children will go about taking 10,000, 5,000 children. They don't count on their future.
So are you saying, Amakri,
I'm thinking that they should not cry.
Amakri, are you saying they should not call on the government? I mean, the governor is governor for all in Rivers State.
I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me? I don't even know what's wrong with this connection.
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, I am saying, are you saying that the students should not call on the governor, who is the governor of all in Rivers State, to come to their aid?
I said it's a two-dimensional issue.
Okay,
I first talk of the state government. Okay. They are not doing their responsibility to the students.
Okay.
They are unfair to the students. If they can increase salary, school fees, it is now pressing on the parents of the student, not the students themselves.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you very much, Amakri. I have to go now.
Thank you very much.
I have to go to the next call. I've got Real Gift from Port Harcourt Township. Real Gift, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you. We were told in my community that it doesn't matter how long you leave a piece of food in the water, it will never become a crocodile.
Okay.
And so the police should not follow these people bumper to bumper. I'm talking about the cat snatchers and what have you, the criminals. They should be on top of them. In any case, bumper to bumper, who they front, who they back. No vex.
Interesting.
Because for me, even though you ask us a question, it's not left for the police alone, I agree with you. Because when you blame a rat for eating up your fish, you also blame your fish for allowing an aroma attract the rat. We people, if we give them intelligence report, what do they do with the intelligence report? And in any case, how come they themselves are not increasing their surveillance patrols on some of the streets? They should identify the black spots, is it not? And then see how they can patrol. And if it is possible, these drivers now, can they install cameras in their vehicles linked to a particular center? I know the police have a center like that, the surveillance or whatever center they call it. where they told us that from there they will monitor the entirety of the river state of Falga, which is Port Harcourt, so that when anybody accesses these vehicles, where they drop their passengers.
All right.
Because sometimes it is possible that the passenger says, which you understand my point now, can be the part of the syndicate. Drop persons where you know it is lit up, so that in peradventure something or somebody is coming out from the dark alley, maybe, just maybe another eye waiting around 50 to raise alarm.
All right.
It's really unfortunate.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Real Gift from Port Harcourt Township. I've got Obed from Port Harcourt. Obed, welcome on the show.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon, Obed.
Yes, Canada. I think I actually love the clip, the headline you gave after the police come up without their statement.
All right.
You understand? It's in Canada. Crime is crime. Okay? Yes, I must commend the city for some achievement they have made so far. But you can't follow people bomber to bomber when you are distracted with 100 naira. Yes, you can't. Many of the policemen on the road are distracted with 100 naira or 200, looking for a way to escort from any motor. They see, especially if they have to do with commercial vehicle and other. That is the problem. They go there, forget reading their engage extortion. So if they can be able to at least share attention, remove their attention from this extortion, concentrate on fighting this crime, can I tell you, we will have a very reduction of crime in River State. Then finally, Canada, I think the state government should do more. Because right now, security is local, okay?
Yeah.
So you need to get local security. It will help to an extent.
All right.
Lastly,
I've got to go, Obed. Thank you very much. I've got to go. Robin is waiting for me. Jay, Robin, welcome.
Good afternoon, my brother Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon, Robin.
Yes, the students complaining about the high school fees and other fees. Part of the world when they had the protest by students of Lagos State University.
Well, that was for Lagos State. Lagos State had their own what do you call it? That was for the increment in tuition fee in Lagos State University. It had nothing to do with any other university.
Okay, good and fine. After the students protested in Lagos, what happened? Fees were brought down.
Yeah, something like that.
Those voices you played, those are all lone voices. Government don't listen to those complaints. They don't even want our children or ourselves to go to school in the first place. So if they think the government will come to their aid, they are living in a wonderland. Then on the issue of the Commissioner of Police, let them double their effort. Because as the criminals are gearing up to rob residents of River State, collect vehicles from boat drivers and all the rest, the same way his men are ripping people off by collecting money at every checkpoint. Is he not aware? Can the Commissioner of Police disguise himself? Particularly the front of River State University, that's my 3 police station. Is he not aware? The third road here by County Grammar School. Is he not aware? The criminals are doing those criminal-minded people in the not number. You should be proactive. Good afternoon, Robin.
All right, thank you very much, Robin, and Origi, welcome. Origi, welcome back. Yes, I can hear you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
You know that if you are telling somebody to remove the lock from his eye, you must always look at your own first.
Okay.
You know that the police cannot catch the criminals because
why can't they catch criminals? Why can't they catch criminals? Why would you say such?
Let me tell you, the highest leader is not a criminal in Nigeria. What is happening on our road now every day? You can see police. If you carry anything that is not good, any incriminating property, you will know that police will collect money from you and ask you to go. You are not the crime committer. But by the time you don't give them that money, you are a crime commissioner. Even the people that are snatching motor, do you think that there's only one motor they're snatching for that one? No. There are so many motors they are snatching, but those people are bringing their way out by giving them bribes. Police always gone, still the way, collecting money from individuals, every passerby, they collect money. What do you think the criminals will do?
All right then. Thank you very much.
So let the police talk to their police, and make sure that the society is free from crime. They are people committing the crime. If giving the criminal gone to stand operate.
All right then. Thank you very much, Origi from Ogbogu. But let's look at some more messages. I've got a couple on Facebook. Let's see. Remember, we're live on Facebook on Nigerian for PH. And if you're just joining, we're looking at three big stories. And the first one has to do with students of Ignatius Ajuru University of Education crying to the government of Rivers State to come to their aid, as school has become expensive now, and so they're asking for loans and bursaries and all of that stuff. And then we moved on still with education, but this time we went to the Ajuru region, where a parent is accusing a principal, a head teacher, of collecting 8,500 naira from O-level students. And he said the O-level has been paid for. That's why Ekaneko has been paid for by the state government. And I'm asking the question, could it be the state government is faulted in its responsibility, or could it be that these teachers are just being wicked and inhuman to the students and their parents? But let's see. Okay, all of these talking about Supreme Court judgment, that's not what I'm looking at. But let's come here and let's see. Good afternoon, Mr. Kalada. Please, is there any difference between cash snatchers and ballot box or result snatchers? If desperate politicians can employ all kind of criminals just to succeed? Obina from Rumokora, I don't get the relationship, but thank you nonetheless. So, since I am a vice principal in one of the state public schools, in as much as I do not encourage the act of extortion by any principal, but I want to state unequivocally that the state government, through the Ministry of Education, has not provided any educational materials for the public schools in the last 7 years. Secondly, concerning WAEC registration for the public schools in Rivers State, the Commissioner of Education, Professor Chinedu Umam, has reduced the list or number of WAEC candidates for the 2023-2024 session in all the public schools, which was what he did last year. In my school, we have a total of 102 SS3 students, but the commissioner approved just 50. What will be the fate of the remaining 52 students? Please make your investigation. You'll confirm what I have said. This is very interesting. But you ended your text by saying, may God help us. Okay? All right. Melody Uniport. River State government and their praise singers are making simple matters like education look like Tinubu certificate matter. There is no rocket science in monitoring the implementation of the free education they claim. Visit CSS Alu, the one at Boundary besides Anglican Church. The principal is collecting 27,000 naira to admit students into SS1. I know 2 young girls currently roaming about the street because they can't afford this high cost. I was a youth corper during Amaechi's regime. Free education was real then. Fubara should differentiate himself as an administrator than a politician. Principals are committing this fraud because the government is not sincere and serious. Okay, all right then. This one says, good afternoon, KD. I am baby boy of Port Harcourt. You said, as for me, I think our government needs to be serious with education because it is important for our future development. As for car snatching, our security agencies need to be sincere in crime fighting and leave commercial drivers so they can focus. Thank you. I've got a commercial break coming up in about 2 minutes, but I do like the take. I need to do my investigation, like you said. But I do like the take of the anonymous sender who sent in a text message saying that the Ministry of Education has not provided educational materials for the public schools in the last 7 years. Wow. Okay. And then when it comes to registration of WAEC for the students, that out of 102 SS3 30 students, only 50 were provided with full payments by the state government. Wow. So what happens to the remaining 52 students? This should be a conversation sometime next week. I really would love to have it. Would follow up on this story and maybe even ask some questions and interview the Commissioner for Education here in River State, but really is interested. But we've got to go for a commercial break, and after that, the business news. When we do come back, more talk. Remember the 4 o'clock hour. The business news will come your way, and after the business news, you and I will talk Supreme Court judgment. Stay tuned.